The first time it happened, I honestly thought I had done something wrong. I just arrived in the Philippines, jet-lagged, sweaty, and still trying to figure out why everyone looked so awake, while I felt like a confused zombie. I was standing outside a small sari-sari store, clutching a cold bottle of water like it was my lifeline, when a woman smiled at me, warm, friendly, curious, and said, "Hello." I smiled back. So far, so good. Then she asked, "How old are you?" I froze. Back in America, that question is dangerous territory. You don't casually ask someone their age unless you're a doctor, a bartender, or their grandmother. I laughed awkwardly, answered anyway, and hoped that would be the end of it. It wasn't. "Are you married?" she asked next. I blinked. "Do you have a boyfriend?" Blink. "Why not?" Longer blink. "Where do you live? How much is your rent? What do you do for work? How much do you earn?" At this point, my American brain was screaming. This felt like a job interview mixed with a background check, mixed with mild interrogation. I remember thinking, is this normal? Did I accidentally walk into a cultural obstacle course? But here's the thing, she wasn't being rude. She wasn't invasive. She wasn't suspicious or judgmental. She was smiling the entire time, nodding kindly, reacting with genuine interest. And when I answered, she didn't gossip, didn't criticize, didn't make it weird. She just cared. It took me a while to understand this, but Filipinos don't ask personal questions to cross boundaries. They ask it because they're building a bridge. In the Philippines, conversations don't start shallow and slowly get deeper. They start real, immediately. It's like skipping the small talk and jumping straight into human connection. In America, we ease into conversations carefully. We talk about the weather, traffic, work stress, Netflix shows. We guard our personal information like it's classified. We believe privacy equals respect. In the Philippines, warmth equals respect. A few days later, I was riding a tricycle through a quiet neighborhood. The driver glanced at me in the mirror and said, "First time here?" "Yes," I answered. "How long will you stay?" "I'm not sure yet." "Why?" I laughed, half nervous, half amused. Then he asked where I was from, what I did if my parents were still alive, and whether they worried about me traveling alone. That last question surprised me the most. No one in America had asked me that, not friends, not coworkers, not even casual acquaintances. But this man who had known me for less than 10 minutes was concerned about my parents' feelings. That's when it started to click. In Filipino culture, your life isn't just yours. You exist in a web of family, friends, neighbors, and community. Knowing details about you isn't about control, it's about understanding where you fit, how to treat you, and how to care for you. When someone asks if you're married, they're not judging your choices. They're figuring out how to talk to you, what jokes are appropriate, whether to tease you, whether to set you up with someone's cousin. And trust me, someone's cousin is always involved. When they ask how old you are, it's not curiosity for curiosity's sake. Age matters here because it shapes respect. It tells them whether to call you a kaya, ma'am, or just smile and nod politely. It's not about numbers. It's about relationship positioning. One afternoon, I was invited to eat lunch at a local home. I had met the family exactly once before. The mother welcomed me like I was returning from a long trip instead of meeting her for the second time. Before I even sat down, questions began. "Are you hungry?" "When was the last time you ate?" "Do you like rice?" "Can you eat spicy food?" "Are you Catholic?" That last one caught me off guard. In the US, religion is one of those topics you tiptoe around. Here, it was asked casually, gently, without tension. When I said I wasn't Catholic, she smiled and said, "It's okay. Eat more chicken, no judgment, no awkward silence. Just food." Food, I learned, is the universal translator of Filipino curiosity. They ask personal questions, then immediately feed you. It's their way of saying, "You're safe here." At first, I tried to deflect. I'd give vague answers. I'd laugh and change the subject. Old American habits die hard. But I noticed something interesting. When I didn't answer, the energy didn't turn cold, it turned confused. Not offended, just puzzled. It was like someone offering a handshake and getting nothing in return. To them, answering personal questions wasn't vulnerability. It was politeness. Over time, I relaxed. I started answering honestly, and something changed. People opened up to me faster. Conversations flowed deeper. Strangers became friends. Friends became family-like figures who worried if I'd eaten, texted me to get home safely, and asked why I looked tired. Once, a woman I barely knew touched my arm and said, "You look sad today. What's wrong?" I almost cried, not because I was sad, but because someone noticed. In America, sadness is private. In the Philippines, it's shared. Filipinos don't believe you should carry heavy things alone. That includes emotions, problems, and sometimes unsolicited advice. Yes, the questions can be shocking. Yes, sometimes they'll ask things that would make Americans choke on their coffee, but it's rarely meant to offend. It's meant to connect. Even the famous "how much do you earn?" question, which makes every American soul leave their body, isn't about comparison or jealousy. It's often practical. They're trying to understand your lifestyle, your expenses, whether you're comfortable, struggling, or in need of help. In a country where many families support each other financially, money isn't a taboo topic, it's a reality. One evening, I sat outside watching kids play in the street. A neighbor joined me, sat down, and within 5 minutes knew my age, job, relationship status, and how long I planned to stay in the Philippines. Then she shared her own story, her husband working abroad, her kids' struggles in school, her worries about rising prices. It wasn't one-sided. It was an exchange. That's the key difference. Filipinos ask personal questions, but they also offer personal answers. They don't interrogate, they participate. The more I lived here, the more I realized how lonely Americans can be without realizing it. We protect our privacy so fiercely that sometimes we forget how to let people in. In the Philippines, walls are lower, doors are open. Conversations are unfiltered and messy and human. And yes, sometimes awkward. I've been asked why I'm still single like it's a medical condition. I've been asked if I plan to marry a Filipino. I've been asked if I can cook, if I gain weight easily, and why my skin gets red in the sun. But I've also been checked on when I disappeared for a few days. I've been invited to birthdays I had no right attending. I've been included, remembered, noticed. The questions are the price of admission. And honestly, it's worth it. Because behind every personal question is an unspoken message. You matter enough for me to ask. In a world where people scroll past each other without eye contact, that kind of attention feels rare. So now when someone asks me how old I am, if I'm married, why I don't have kids yet, or whether I miss my family, I smile. I answer, and sometimes I ask back. Because in the Philippines, curiosity isn't nosy. It's love, spoken awkwardly, directly, and without hesitation. And as a blonde American who once guarded her privacy like a fortress, I've learned that sometimes the fastest way to feel at home is to let people know you.